Hey everybody, Gisele Grenier here. In today's video tutorial, I'm going to work in my, what am I calling this? It's my blues journal, but it's Enjoy the Journey. I'm taking things that I really enjoy and putting them into a journal, which is, it's nothing special. We all want to do stuff that makes us happy. But what I did is I just finished recording another video, basically going out into nature type of thing. And you probably didn't hear it, in the last 15 minutes of the video, there was a big bee buzzing around my window. Now, I had closed the window, but it was, and I could just hear it. So when I was finished the video, I just sat here and I watched it. I opened the window just so I could hear it. And the buzzing was just, it was just wonderful. And outside we're afraid of bees and we swat them and all that stuff. Wasps are a different story. Wasps are the devil's bird. They're evil. Bees, though, are good. So, you want to protect them. We're already having a problem with bees disappearing. So I'm just listening, closing my eyes. Now I immediately knew what I wanted to do in my journal, because I like doing stuff in a journal as experiments, because then I know what works, what doesn't, and I can take it to a formal piece. I want to create something with a very simple background, transparent layer of paper, stamped paper, and then from there just a simple stencil of a bee. So on the table, and I've got this, it's a really pretty stencil. This is from DecoArt. It's their Americana Decor line. It's called Bees and Birds, and it's this one here. I like this one, but it's a little bit big for the page. I mean, it'll fit. But yeah, it'll fit. So I could have used this one as well, but this one to me looks more like a wasp. I want to take this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint or gesso the paper and then paint it. And I've got this transparent paper that I stamped with a whole bunch of stuff. And this is things I did a couple of years ago. It's on my blog, and you can. The video for this is on my blog. You can check that out at ourplace.ca. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gesso paint, then put that on top and collage that, then put the bee stencil bee. Very, very simple. Already 3 minutes into it, and all I've been doing is talking. I like to explain what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so materials. DecoArt media, white gesso to prep the paper, the matte medium to collage. The paints I've got them split up, and I'm going to tell you why. So I've got Hansa Yellow Light, and I've got Green Gold, because I like this color, which I can't make. Even though I know what the pigments are, it's the particular yellow that really makes a difference. So I've got these two. That's going to be to stain the paper. Then I've got ultramarine blue and burnt sienna for the body of the bee. I'm not using carbon black because it's too flat, so I'm going to make a chromatic black. The wings, I'm going to paint quinacridone magenta. I know it's not the color of a bee, but I want it to stand out. Quinacridone magenta. And then what I'm going to do is when that's dry, I'm then going to put a layer of interference magenta on top to see if I can get that shimmer in there. I have trouble sometimes with the interference, and I can't quite get what I'm looking for, so I'm going to be experimenting. I'm only going to put it out right when I need it. And I have some titanium white just in case. So, nothing super duper fancy at this point. So I'm just going to work on this side. And I already have a piece under here. So I can put, piece of wax paper underneath if I want to. I'm not going to worry about it. So this little book, although it was supposed to be more for music and that, it's, nature, music, stuff that I enjoy. The walks, seeing little kids play baseball. We live right across the street from the Mohawk Sports Complex, and where there's like a whole bunch of baseball diamonds, hockey rink, and all that stuff. And yesterday, I'm going to talk while I do this, and then yesterday, they're at baseball, and they had little kids. I swear, they were only like 6, 7 years old. Oh my God, they were so cute. And they had a little, the thing at the pitcher's mound, the little gizmo, they put the ball in, they push a button, and it goes, and watching them try to run. The outfielders are at the base, and the people at the base are actually more inside because they can't go very far. It was, it's adorable. So I might even do something with baseball. All right. So a relatively thin layer of gesso. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in water. I'm going to dry this now, and you can use a heat gun or a hair dryer. And the gesso basically is just so the paint just doesn't get sucked into the paper. This is watercolor, inexpensive, cheapy watercolor paper that I used up. I created this book in a class, and I don't want to use, when I'm teaching bookbinding and that, I don't want to use my expensive paper because I end up making so many books I don't know what to do with them. So that's that. Let's stain now. So I'm going to clean my brush. No, I'm not. I'm going to get a fresh brush. I really got to get Joe to fix my chair. I'm going to get a fresh brush, and I'm going to take some of the yellow with a bit of the green and right on top. Wowsies! Look at that. So the colors I'm working with are close to each other on the color wheel. I wanted something to more for the stain. You know what would be really cool? Oh, here I go. Here I go. Here I go. Here I go. I don't know if this will work because I'm waiting too long. Can you guys send me bubble wrap? No, don't. A little bit. A little bit. This is more of an experiment. I just wanted to see what would happen. Stop squeaking. Yeah, it's a little bit came off. So I should have been prepared. Okay, let me dry this again. If you can plan out your artwork without veering off at all, you're a much stronger person than I would expect, because the whole thing with mixed media, fun, 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 fun. All right, so let's take the same brush, and this, not to say that you can't have fun creating a mixed media piece with a mixed media piece with a plan. My mouth is rented. Holy cow! All right, matte medium, and I'm going to just put that everywhere. Now I do know that this paper here, I do have a little bit of trouble getting that to hold. So I'm not sure I want the ruler stuff, so I'm going to put it out here, but I'm going to tear it. Ooh, wait a minute. That, like so. If you want your paper to be positionable, where you can kind of smush it around, matte medium on your paper and matte medium on, let's try this again. If you want your paper to be repositionable, matte medium in your journal, on your substrate, and matte medium on your actual paper that you're collaging. If you put it on dry, you won't be able to reposition it. Almost translucent. Oh, yeah, see the ruler's there. All right, so let's just push that in there. I don't mind the texture. Oh, I kind of like that too. All right, let's do that as well. Where it's going to be split like that. That's cool. That's coolios. Oh, I don't know what that means. Was just a sound. I don't know what that means. The video I did, I was mumbling some words, and apparently I did a really bad swear word. Nothing that you haven't heard on TV, but it wasn't intentional. I'm gonna be a bit more careful as to the words that I use when I'm speaking. All right, 10 minutes into this, and all I've been doing is blabbering. Oh my God. Life's too short not to have fun, right? Okay, I'm going to quickly dry this. And I'm just going to trim the... Oh, I'm going to trim the edge here. And what I'll do is I will, when it sits to dry, then I'll trim it off at the end. Yeah, it's quite a bit of wrinkling in there, but I'm not going to worry about it. All right, for what I'm doing here, I don't like the idea of using a stencil brush, but I'm going to anyways. All right, roughly equal parts of ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. You can use Payne's Gray if you want. And Payne's Gray is just made up with blue and brown. But actually, that's not true, depending on where you get it. So this is just a center composition. And I want to try to keep the paint application light enough that the stuff underneath still, whoops, don't do that, it still shows through. Baby wipe will clean that up. I was hoping to do with the baby wipe, but I found that with the baby wipes, not the baby wipes, the cosmetic sponges, these stencils here, the decor stencils, are a little bit thick. Yeah, that turned out nice. And with the stencils, you know, once you finish using it, just clean them right away. Otherwise, just have a container of water that you can just put them in. That'll go there. Okay, so quinacridone magenta pure on a dry bristle brush. Oh, I love that the wrinkles are showing. I'll have to see if I can use that paint in something else. Nice, 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 nice. Alrighty. Let's just do this. It'll just add to something else. I like that. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to dry that down. So the paint did smush through. So it's the paper may have been a little bit too thin for that. It's what is it? This is I don't think it's deli paper. No, it's not deli paper. It's it's tracing paper. Parchment paper. Parchment tracing paper. Okay, now another clean brush. Stop squeaking. Interference magenta. Take that and paint the wing. With a nice brush with a nice point. Turn it around. Good application in there. Turn it around. And depending on how it goes, once it's dry, I may put in another layer. I don't know. Like I said, I've been having some trouble getting this working for what I want the look to be like. So I don't know. So while that's drying, now I can take I'm going to take my white gel pen. She's not even here. Chaos hair. And I'm just going to do a very, really sketchy outline. You can do this. You don't have to do this. You can do it. Doesn't matter. I want it to be more sketchy. Because this is like a nature-inspired journal, I would typically sketch in this anyways. Sketch and then fill in with color. It just helps define. But whatever I do, it's going to be really loose. I'll go outside the lines, inside the lines. I can use black, I'm using white. Use whatever you want. And as it dries, it sets, I'll just go back in, put a little bit more. Like that. See? All right. So what I think I'm going to do now is while this is drying, is to think of a word that I can use. And thinking of that bee right now, and the word that came to me was nurture. I don't know why, nurture. So I'm just going to take my Staedtler Lumicolor Permanent Special, and I'm just going to write nurture. That's it. That's just a word that I was thinking of. I don't know calligraphy. My handwriting is atrocious. Stamping, you know what? Stamping would have been better. That looks terrible. But there we go. So something very, very simple. So what I'm going to come back in a few minutes once this is all dried, and then we'll see what it looks like to see if the interference experiment worked. There. I got rid of the wording. I did a stamping instead. I just used my teeny little alphabet stamps there. I picked these up, I think, for like $1.50 at Michael's. These are the best stamps ever. They are tiny little ones. I got those. And then I just used my Stays On smelly ink pad. I added an extra layer of interference. It's not quite dry yet, but that's what I was looking for. Something really, really shiny. And then I can turn around and I can come in and I'm going to outline the edge. I wasn't sure if I should have did it in white or using the black. Let me try with the white. And then again, your journal, oh, I like the white better. This is all about experimenting, so feel free to try different things, excuse me, to see what works for you. You know, it's not so much what I created, it's how I created it, just to inspire you to try different things. The other thing you can do is if you find that your black is too transparent, fill it in. I think my pen's drying out. Yeah, just fill it in and you can make it more opaque. I kind of like it being transparent because I can see some of the stuff underneath, but there we go. So nurture, that's what I ended up with. That's pretty, eh? Look at that. And I'm looking on the monitor. This looks really yellow green. When I'm looking at it, it's just yellow with a slight green, but on the monitor it looks really yellow green, almost like a lime green. Oh, we'll see what it looks like in the finished video. Alrighty, so all that's left to do with this is that if it was a canvas, you could varnish it. It's in a journal. I'm leaving everything with a matte finish so the pages don't stick together. But that's it. So what I'd like to know is, have you ever created a piece of art based on something that just happened in the moment? A sound that you heard, music, something that happened, something that you looked at, a book, a title, a word, something, and that whatever it is prompted you to create a piece of art based on that thought in that moment. Share in the comments below and let me know. And oh, before I forget, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That way you won't miss out on anything. And give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. And that way I know what to make and what not to make. Alrighty, so let me know what you think. And I'm going to clean up and get ready for the next tutorial. So until I see you in that lesson, stay inspired.